Hello, giant person. I have built a megaphone so we can communicate. Can you hear me? Or do I still sound like a chipmunk? Goodness. Okay, maybe lower your voice a little bit. You gotta meet me in the middle here. I made my voice louder. You gotta make yours quieter so you don't blow my eardrums. My eardrums are small, like the rest of me. Well, I appreciate you making an effort. Maybe if you crouch down a little bit, you can actually see me. See, I'm right here. Hello. Hi. Good to see you. Now, I made this contraption so we could speak, so we could have a conversation. As much as I appreciate you letting us live on your little water fountain, as you can see, our civilization has grown and expanded quite a bit since we last talked. And we have some requests. Well, for one, there's a lot of birds in the area. And we have lost several people to crows. They're the most curious, and they come pecking in our windows, carrying off our children. Well, we thought if you put some kind of fake human decoy to scare away the birds, they wouldn't eat us. A scarecrow, I guess. The goal is to scare the crows. Wonderful. So we have an agreement. You will construct this scarecrow, and we will have less casualties. No, that wasn't it. Secondly, we have noticed that your garden is getting a bit overgrown, and we offer our services as weed removers, even though the weeds are twice our size, in exchange for a couple vegetables. Just a few of the smallest. Even a single tomato could feed all of us for like a week. I'm sure we can find an arrangement that's fair, that you get enough of the food and we get enough of the food. Well, we have mice that we ride on, much like you ride in that strange contraption that you have. But the mice can help us remove the weeds. We have our own ways of doing things, okay? Just trust the little society. We will remove the weeds should you grant us access to the garden. Well, that is another point. The journey across the lawn is many days of perilous. Right. So, we propose a simple stone path from the well to the garden. Now, that would be something you would have to do because we are about the size of your pinky finger, so it would take a lot of us to lift a stone that you could just pick up. So, if you could make a semi-flat pathway with a scarecrow, don't forget, so the birds don't come and eat us off the path. Well, there's not many other things besides the birds that try to eat us, but if anything else does, like a curious squirrel or a starving rat, we have weapons with which to defend ourselves. Well, we make tiny spears out of thorns, tiny arrows, tiny little crossbows. It's not much, but a couple of our little people are quite the shot. I don't believe any weapon you could supply to us would be of any use. You could give us a bunch of little needles to use as swords. That would be very helpful. Well, we don't have anything metallic like you do. We have a singular needle that we found. It is our chieftain's sword. But if we had many of them, we could do so many things. Well, aside from food, which, if we may request, we have caught the scent of pies from your window. And now we make our own very, very small version of pies, but we all really want a giant pie. Well, I just like a special treat, maybe, if we're really good. Why would you not want to swim in pie? If you had a giant pie that you could dive in and eat your way out, would you not want to do that? Exactly. Fine. That one's not a necessity, it is merely an idea. But along that note, a lot of your oversized food can feed us, can be used for our gardens, so if your leftovers wouldn't mind making their way out here, we would greatly appreciate that. Well, we grow our own food, but mostly it's little berries. And we eat acorns. Other things that we gather. Little tiny herbs. But everything else that we want to eat is bigger than us. So it would be really helpful if you maybe cut an apple in half and gave us that. Because it's really hard for us to get just a whole apple. Because what are we supposed to do with that? Cut it into tiny, tiny little pieces? I mean, we can, but it's just so much work. So it would be appreciated if you brought us small little bites of food every now and again. Well, in return, we offer to hunt the bugs in your house. We eat bugs too. It's exactly the same as you hunting rabbits. Bugs are protein. They're small. We can roast them into a delicious stew. Do you want the centipedes removed from your house or not? Because there are a lot in there. That's what I thought. Those things are ferocious to kill, but we will kill them for you, our benevolent benefactor. We will rid your home of pestilence, except spiders, because spiders can eat us, and we just avoid them, in general. Well, you want spiders in your house, because spiders eat annoying things that get in, like mosquitoes. Yes, they also eat us, but we're not annoying things that get in. We're useful things that get in. Oh, we sneak under the door. Or through a window. You usually leave the windows cracked. It's easy enough to go in there. Back when you had the cat, we went through the cat door. But I'm glad you got rid of that. It was mean to us. It would come over and battered us with its fearsome claws, and we couldn't do nothing about it. Yes, I heard your sister adopted it. I'm very glad. I hope to never see it again, but it was very cute. It's hard to think something is cute when it's trying to murder you, so if I say it's cute, you know it's really cute. But I'd prefer you not get any more pets. Maybe some fish, if you really have to get a pet. You could put some fish in the wishing well here. We wouldn't mind going fishing every now and again. Well, we go for fishing minnows down by the little creek, but that's a perilous journey in and of itself. And there's frogs by the creek, and frogs will try to eat us. And herons will try to eat us. And snakes will try to eat us. A lot of things want to eat little people. I don't know what to tell you. Our life is perilous. Which is why we settled here in this beautiful little wishing well in your backyard. Even though you are a giant and we don't ordinarily reveal ourselves to the giants, we kind of really had no choice. It was that or live in burrows in the woods. Now we much prefer our civilization here. Well, we have running water set up. We have the fountain here provides us with electricity. Do you know how much easier things are with running water and electricity? We don't use the lights at night though, because they draw big bugs. Well, sometimes we do when we want to hunt moths. But leaving them on for too long, gathering too many bugs, that brings bats. And bats will try to eat us. Basically, every small-ish predator animal you can think of has tried to eat us and has successfully eaten some of us. It's perilous to be this size. But it has its benefits too. Well, we can sneak into places. It just takes forever to get to those places. And we can ride on squirrels and mice and sparrows. I don't, because I don't like heights, but a couple of our clan have ridden sparrows. Avoiding getting eaten is like 80% of our little lives. And like 10% finding food and 10% making that food bite-sized. We cook a lot of bugs. Well, I wouldn't suggest bugs. Flavor-wise, they're not ideal, but if you add a little tiny bit of mint, a little bit of garlic, they're not too bad. And there are lots of protein. Hey, if you were miniature, just trying to survive, you would eat a bug. Just saying. Don't knock it till you try it. And you haven't tried being this small. And of course, I haven't tried being that big either. I'm sure you bump your head on a lot of stuff. Like tree branches. You bump your head on tree branches all the time. Oh, that's just because you're clumsy? We'll have better spatial awareness. You're huge. You take up space. I'm small, but I know I take up space. It's just a tiny little bit of space. So, are we in agreement about everything so far? Stone path, scarecrow, we do some work in the garden, we get the centipedes out of your house, but not the spiders. You don't get another cat. You make sure big things don't eat us. That would be greatly appreciated, thank you. Oh yes, I made this out of leaves. It is my cone, so my voice is amplified. Because you said before I sounded like a chipmunk, and we can't have that, because chipmunks sound stupid. They go, I don't sound like that. And it felt like you were talking down to me last time. So now I'm talking up at you. Also, you will notice that I am wearing a skirt made out of the handkerchief you dropped the other day. We cut that up, and we basically clothed half the village. Well, we don't find a lot of fabric out in the world. We make some out of cotton, we wear flower petals and other soft leaves and such, but real cloth that's thin enough for us to cut and sew into things is pretty rare to find. So if you've ever felt like donating some scraps of this or that, we would definitely find use for them. Basically, Any small thing that you're like, oh, this is so small, I can't use, let me just throw it away. Don't throw it away, give it to us, because we can find some use for it. Great, I'm glad we're in agreement. I will leave you to go about your day. I believe we're going berry gathering. Oh, do you want to come? That would be lovely. Maybe you can give us a ride. You move a lot faster than we do. I don't know about that. I don't know if I want to get in your hand. Because you could squish me. Well, but how do I know that you're not going to squish me? I suppose we are friends. Are we though, or do you just tolerate a small civilization living on your wishing well? Well, as friends, I suppose I will ride on your hand. But my friends would prefer to ride in your pockets. Great. If you could crouch down kind of over here, I'll get my friends and we'll get loaded up and go berry picking. It'd be nice to have you. You can hold so much more berries than we can. Usually we can hold maybe 1 or 2 berries each. We can load maybe 6 on a mouse, carry them home. So, greatly appreciate the lift. And all of your help. This place is really lovely to live. And it's a lot safer than where we lived before, in little hollows and trees and burrows and such. We do appreciate it. You letting us stay. Alright, let me go get my friends, and we'll see about climbing all over you.